Congratulations and celebration on reaching the milestone of 4 decades in Toastmasters journey by Ernest Chen. I've known Ernest for a very little period, over 9 years. People tell me and think, this is very fun. People think he is a serious person. But I've seen he has excellent sense of humor. Just on Monday, when I visited his office, I told him, Ernest, you look so cool. He said, because I'm sitting next to the fan. And he's always been very humorous with me. I don't know about others. Ernest is a multifaceted personality. We know he's an author, he's a coach, he's a philanthropist. I'll tell you, most of you may not be aware of that. He's a Toastmaster, of course, and he wears many other hats. I'll tell you a story about him, which nobody knows over here. I'm very sure about it. I'm the only one who knows. And he might have also forgotten. About 5-6 years ago, a group of 8 South African people came to Singapore. And they somehow found Ernest to be the best coach in town on public speaking. So they contacted him. And when they came to office, it so happened, just by chance, that I also went to his office that very moment. It was just maybe 10-15 minutes later. And they were talking that we want to be trained by you. And he said, it'll be minimum 7 days and all that, pre-lunch, post-lunch, this, that, whatever. And they also spoke on economics, value transfer and all. So Ernest told me, Arun, since you are here, why don't you also join the class? To which I readily agreed. That was a 7-day course. Now, after 4th day, I met Ernest and I told him, Ernest, can I tell you something in private? He said, yeah, tell me, what is that? I said, you are not going to get your fees from these guys. He said, how do you know that? I said, I know because this fellow borrowed money from me because he doesn't have money to pay for his food. He says, for next 3 days, our whole group of 8 people will go without food. We have no money. So I said, I couldn't say no. And I gave them a small sum and they were very happy. So Ernest understood that he's not going to get his fees. It's nothing unusual in life. It happens that you don't get your fees. But what surprised me about Ernest was the next 3 days when he took his classes, he distributed his notes as he did in first 4 days. And he was equally responsible and sincere about teaching. He did not diminish in any way in teaching. And that really impressed me, that he knows he's not going to get his fees. And yet those 3 days, he continued in the same manner. And to your surprise, in 1 day, he took them for lunch also. So you're not getting fees from them. On the contrary, he's treating them for lunch. Then he's a great philanthropist. He runs a clan association, NIMCO Clan Association. Some of you might be aware of that. That was founded by his father 80 years ago. And today he runs that organization. YMCA Toastmasters holds their meeting free of cost at that place. It's a wonderful place. You have to see to believe it. Well, one Tuesday afternoon, I went to his office and I found his office to be closed. Then I called him and asked, where are you? He said, don't you know that every Tuesday I'm busy? I said, what are you busy with? He said, every Tuesday I'm teaching underprivileged, mentally challenged students in my clan association. and I've been doing it for the last 20. Ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't get any money for that, and he does it with passion. That is Ernest. Some of you might have seen his book on rhetorics. I bought his book probably 5 years ago. And I read that book. And whenever I want to sleep and I don't get sleep, I open that book. It's so difficult, I tell you. It's not easy. You can't read more than a page or two. It's an encyclopedia. I have done research on rhetorics, and I've not found a better book than that book. It's an amazing book. You must buy it. It's a masterpiece. It should be in your shelf. Dr. Ernest is not an individual. He's an institution. I respect him. I love him, not because he's very talented, not because he wears many hats. He's author, he's coach, he's Toastmaster, he's a district AD champion, not because of that. I love him, respect him, because he's a very nice human being. It's not easy to get a nice human being. And somebody was asking over here, probably Norman, who knows Ernest? Who knows Ernest? I know Ernest. Trust me. I know in and out. I know him more than he knows himself. About 6-7 years ago, I went to Indonesia with Ernest. We both were judged in an international inter-college competition for Southeast Asia. So many colleges had come, probably hundreds of colleges had come over there, and we too were judges for many events, including public speaking. So there, in the breakfast, I would meet Ernest. In the lunch, I would meet Ernest. For dinner, I would meet him. And, for 4 days, we stayed together. Of course, in a different room, not like Norman. Norman has exclusivity. And I realized that this man is very simple. Simplicity is his hallmark. There is beauty in that simplicity. He is very down to earth. He wears the jewelry called simplicity. And that really fascinates me. That amazes me. Ladies and gentlemen, Ernest has something extra. Some people are ordinary, he is extraordinary. Most of the time, I'm reminded of his quotes. He has repeated those quotes with me a million times probably. Love what you do what you love. It is ingrained in my head, because he's repeated that. Praise in public, criticize in private. Learning is a journey, not a destination. And so many. And he inspired me to write a book. And every day he would push me, he would send me text messages. How many pages have we completed? How many pages have we completed? I said, my God, there's somebody behind me to push me. And thankfully, I completed that book on quotation. Some of you also have that book. And the credit goes to Ernest only, because he would spiritually, religiously, every morning message me. How many pages have you completed? So I had no choice, because if I will meet him, he would ask me. Friends, he is friend, philosopher, and guide to me. If I've learned time management, it's only from Ernest. Once we visited Indonesia and once somewhere else, I don't remember. So I told him I'll come to the airport 2 hours before the flight. He said, no, I'm going 4 hours before the flight. I said, 4 hours? I've never been 4 hours before the flight. So he said, anyway, you can come when you feel like, but I'll go 4 hours. And every meeting when he comes here to YMCA, he's always before me. So one day I told him, Ernest, now from next time I want to come before you in the meeting. And for last 6 months, I'm beating him. I always come before him. So I've learned that sense of time management because I want to copy him. He's successful. I also want to become successful. So these are the qualities. He's simple. He follows time. Once he told me one wonderful thing that Arun, you should wear a tie. What? Why should I wear a tie? He said, you want to be successful, you should wear a tie. All successful people wear a tie. I was wondering what is he talking. Then he said, I mean trust, integrity, and ethics. EIE. Ladies and gentlemen, with deep heart, with all sincerity, I offer my respect, regard, and obeisance to Dr. Ernest Chan. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Please remain on stage. Okay, remain on stage. Dr. Ernest Chen has something to present to you.